Hello, my friend. Welcome back to Confidence Speaking Podcast. I'm so happy you're here today. Let me ask you something. Have you ever watched a bird learn to fly? Picture this with me for a moment. There's a young bird sitting on the edge of a high branch. It looks down at the ground far below. Its heart is beating fast. The wind is calling, but fear is whispering. What if you fall? What if you're not ready? But then something magical happens. The bird takes a breath. It spreads its wings, and it jumps. Today, we're talking about what happens when you believe in yourself. Not the fake kind of confidence that sounds good in books. I mean the real, deep belief that changes everything about how you live, how you speak, and how you see your own future. This isn't just about feeling good. This is about the actual power that starts moving in your life when you decide to trust yourself. When you decide that maybe, just maybe, you are capable of more than you think. Thank you for spending this time with me. I know you have many choices for how to use these precious minutes of your day. My promise to you is this. By the end of our conversation, you'll understand not just why believing in yourself matters, but exactly how it works and what you can do to build this belief starting today. So, take a comfortable breath and let's explore this together.
Here's what I notice about most people, and maybe this includes you too. We spend so much energy protecting ourselves from disappointment that we forget to notice our own strength. Think about it. When was the last time you really, truly believed you could do something difficult? Not hoped, not wished, but actually believed deep in your heart that you had what it takes. For many of us, that feeling is rare, and I understand why. Life teaches us to be careful. People tell us to be realistic. We learn that dreaming too big can lead to getting hurt. So we make ourselves smaller. We speak more quietly. We try less. We hide. But here's what happens when we live this way. We start to believe that small is safe. We start to think that not trying is the same as not failing. And slowly, without even noticing, we begin to forget who we really are. I've been there too. There was a time in my life when I was so afraid of making mistakes that I stopped making choices. I was so worried about what others might think that I forgot what I actually wanted. I was living, but I wasn't really alive. The truth is, not believing in yourself doesn't protect you from pain. It just makes you smaller. It takes away your voice. It steals your dreams while you're sleeping. And the cost is huge. When you don't believe in yourself, you don't speak up in meetings. You don't apply for jobs you want. You don't have conversations that matter. You don't learn new skills. You don't take chances on love, on friendship, on adventure. You become a passenger in your own life. But maybe you're wondering, what exactly does this look like in everyday life? Let me paint some pictures for you. Maybe one of these sounds familiar. Picture Sarah. She's 28 years old, and she's been working at the same company for 3 years. Every day, she has ideas that could help her team. Good ideas. But when the meeting starts, she feels her heart speed up. She thinks, what if they think I'm stupid? What if I'm wrong? So she stays quiet. Later, someone else shares a similar idea, and everyone loves it. Sarah goes home feeling frustrated and invisible. She thinks, I should have spoken up. But the next meeting, the same thing happens again. Or maybe this feels more like you. You're learning English and you want to practice speaking. You know practice is important. But every time you have a chance to speak, maybe with a colleague or in a language exchange, or even ordering food, you feel afraid. Your mind goes blank. You think, my accent is bad, my grammar isn't perfect, they'll judge me. So you choose the safe option. You stay quiet, or you use simple words, or you avoid the conversation completely. Later, you feel disappointed in yourself. Here's another one. You have a dream. Maybe it's learning a new skill, starting a hobby, changing careers, or traveling somewhere new. You think about it often. It makes you excited, but then the doubts come. I'm too old to start now. I don't have enough money. I don't have enough time. What if I fail? What if people laugh at me? So you wait. You tell yourself, maybe next year, maybe when things are different. But next year comes, and you're still waiting. Does any of this sound familiar? The pattern is always the same. We want something, we feel excited. Then fear comes in. We tell ourselves we're being smart and careful. But really, we're just scared. And here's the sad part. We start to believe that this is just who we are. We say, I'm not the type of person who speaks up. Or, I'm not good at languages. Or, I'm not a risk taker. We make these temporary feelings into permanent identity. But what if that's not true? What if you are exactly the type of person who can do these things? And here's something most people never realize about this.
The thing that changes everything is this. Believing in yourself isn't about feeling confident all the time. It's about trusting yourself even when you don't feel confident. Let me explain what I mean. Most people think self-belief looks like this superhero feeling where you never doubt yourself. But that's not real life. Real self-belief is much quieter and much stronger. Real self-belief sounds like this. I'm scared, but I'm going to try anyway. It sounds like, I don't know if this will work, but I trust myself to figure it out. It sounds like, I might make mistakes, but I can learn from them. Here's a powerful truth. You don't need to feel ready to be ready. You don't need to feel confident to act with confidence. You just need to trust that you can handle whatever happens next. Think about it like this. Imagine you're learning to swim. At first, the water feels scary. It's deep. It's unknown. You can't breathe underwater. But you don't wait until the water feels safe to start learning. You get in anyway, with a teacher, with support, with patience for yourself. You trust that you can learn. Believing in yourself works the same way. You don't wait until you feel brave to act brave. You don't wait until you feel smart to share your ideas. You don't wait until your English is perfect to start speaking. You start from where you are, with what you have, and you trust yourself to grow. But here's what's really beautiful about this. Every time you choose to trust yourself, even when you're scared, you get stronger. Every time you speak up, even with imperfect words, your voice gets clearer. Every time you try something new, even if you make mistakes, you prove to yourself that you can handle more than you thought. It's like building a muscle. The first time you lift a weight, it feels heavy. But you don't wait until it feels light to keep exercising. You lift it anyway, and slowly, you get stronger. Self-belief works exactly like this. You don't wait until you feel confident to start believing in yourself. You start believing in yourself, and slowly, confidence grows. And here's the most amazing part. When you really start to believe in yourself, everything changes. You speak differently. You walk differently. You make different choices. You see different possibilities. Other people notice too. They start to see you differently. They listen when you speak. They trust your ideas. They want to be around your energy. But it all starts with this one simple choice, deciding to trust yourself even when you're not sure.
Okay, now that we see the big picture, let's get into something even more useful, real action. I want to give you some tools you can use starting today. These aren't complicated, but they work. Tool number 1, the morning mirror practice. Every morning, look at yourself in the mirror and say one true positive thing about yourself. Not fake stuff, not things you don't believe. Find something real. Maybe it's, I am learning every day. Or, I care about people. Or, I don't give up easily. Or, I have good ideas. Say it out loud. Look into your own eyes. Say it with me now. I am learning every day. The key is this. Don't wait until you feel like saying it. Say it first, and the feeling will follow. This is how you train your mind to notice your own value. Do this for 1 week and watch what happens to your inner voice. Tool number 2, the small brave act. Every day, do one small thing that requires you to trust yourself. Just one. It doesn't have to be big. Maybe it's speaking up in a meeting. Maybe it's starting a conversation with a stranger. Maybe it's trying a new word in English. Maybe it's sharing your opinion when someone asks what you think. The size doesn't matter. What matters is the choice to trust yourself instead of hiding. Here's an example. Let's say you're in a coffee shop and the barista seems friendly. Instead of just ordering and leaving, you could say, "How's your day going?" It's small. It's simple. But it's you choosing to connect instead of staying safe. Each small brave act teaches you something important. You can handle more than your fear tells you. Tool number 3, the mistake reframe. When you make a mistake, instead of saying, "I'm so stupid," try this. "I'm learning something new." Let me give you an example. You're speaking English and you use the wrong word. Your old voice might say, "See, you're terrible at this. Everyone noticed." Your new voice says, "Interesting. Now I know the right way to say that. I'm getting better." Same mistake, completely different meaning. Say this with me. When I make mistakes, I am learning. This is how you turn your mistakes into your teachers instead of your enemies. Tool number 4, the future self-visualization. Once a week, spend 5 minutes imagining yourself 1 year from now. But imagine the version of you who has been believing in yourself all year. How does that person speak? How do they walk into a room? What choices do they make? What do they believe about themselves? Don't just think about it. Feel it. See it clearly. Then ask yourself, what would that person do today? What choice would they make right now? This isn't fantasy. This is practice. You're practicing being the person you're becoming. Tool number 5, the support system check. Look at the people you spend time with. Do they believe in you? Do they encourage you to grow? Do they celebrate your progress? If not, you need to find your people. Join groups where people are also learning and growing. Find communities where people support each other. You become like the people you spend time with. Choose people who see your potential, not just your current limitations. This is especially important when you're learning something new like English. Find people who encourage you to speak, who are patient with your mistakes, and who celebrate your progress. But I don't just want to give you tips. I want to show you how this looks in someone's real life.
Let me tell you about Marcus. He was 34 years old, working as an engineer in a big company in Sao Paulo. He was good at his job, but he had a problem. His company was international, and all the important meetings happened in English. Marcus could read English well. He could write emails, but speaking? That was different. In meetings, when his boss asked for input, Marcus would feel his heart race.
He had great ideas, but when he tried to speak, the words got stuck. His accent felt thick. His grammar felt broken. He worried that people would think he wasn't smart. So Marcus did what many of us do. He stayed quiet. He sent his ideas in emails after the meetings. He let other people present his work. He became invisible. For 2 years, this was his life. He watched younger colleagues get promoted. He saw opportunities pass by. He felt frustrated, but also helpless. He thought, maybe this is just who I am. Maybe I'm not meant for bigger things. But then, something happened. Marcus's daughter, Sophia, was 8 years old, and she was learning to ride a bicycle. Every day after work, they would go to the park to practice. Sophia was scared. She would get on the bike, pedal for 2 seconds, then stop. "Papa," she would say, "I'm going to fall. I'm not good at this." And Marcus would say, "Sophia, you don't have to be good at it yet. You just have to try. I believe in you." One day, Sophia looked at him and said, "Papa, why don't you believe in yourself the way you believe in me?" That question hit Marcus like lightning. He realized he was teaching his daughter to be brave while he was teaching himself to be small. That night, Marcus made a decision. He was going to learn to believe in himself the same way he believed in Sophia. He started small. Every morning, he would practice speaking English to himself in the mirror. He would tell himself, "I have valuable ideas. My voice matters." Then he joined an English conversation group. The first meeting was terrifying. His hands were shaking, but he went anyway. In the group, he met other people who were also scared, also learning, also growing. They made mistakes together. They laughed together. They encouraged each other. Slowly, Marcus started to find his voice. Not perfect English, but his real voice. 3 months later, there was a big meeting at work. The team was discussing a complex technical problem. Marcus had an idea that could save the company time and money. His old voice said, "Stay quiet. Let someone else speak." But his new voice, the voice that believed in him, said, "Sophia is watching. Show her what believing in yourself looks like." Marcus raised his hand. His heart was beating fast, but he spoke anyway. He shared his idea. His English wasn't perfect, but his idea was clear. The room was quiet for a moment. Then his boss said, "Marcus, that's brilliant. Can you lead this project?" 6 months later, Marcus got the promotion he had wanted for years. But more than that, he got himself back. He remembered who he was underneath all that fear. And Sophia? She learned to ride her bicycle. And she learned something else too. She learned that being scared doesn't mean you're not brave. It just means you're growing. That story is inspiring. But what can you do starting today?
Let me tell you about Marcus. He was 34 years old, working as an engineer in a big company in Sao Paulo. He was good at his job, but he had a problem. His company was international, and all the important meetings happened in English. Marcus could read English well. He could write emails. But speaking? That was different. In meetings, when his boss asked for input, Marcus would feel his heart race. He had great ideas, but when he tried to speak, the words got stuck. His accent felt thick. His grammar felt broken. He worried that people would think he wasn't smart. So Marcus did what many of us do. He stayed quiet. He sent his ideas in emails after the meetings. He let other people present his work. He became invisible. For 2 years, this was his life. He watched younger colleagues get promoted. He saw opportunities pass by. He felt frustrated, but also helpless. He thought, maybe this is just who I am. Maybe I'm not meant for bigger things. But then something happened. Marcus's daughter, Sophia, was 8 years old, and she was learning to ride a bicycle. Every day after work, they would go to the park to practice. Sophia was scared. She would get on the bike, pedal for 2 seconds, then stop. "Papa," she would say, "I'm going to fall. I'm not good at this." And Marcus would say, "Sophia, you don't have to be good at it yet. You just have to try. I believe in you." One day, Sophia looked at him and said, "Papa, why don't you believe in yourself the way you believe in me?" That question hit Marcus like lightning. He realized he was teaching his daughter to be brave while he was teaching himself to be small. That night, Marcus made a decision. He was going to learn to believe in himself the same way he believed in Sophia. He started small. Every morning, he would practice speaking English to himself in the mirror. He would tell himself, "I have valuable ideas. My voice matters." Then he joined an English conversation group. The first meeting was terrifying. His hands were shaking, but he went anyway. In the group, he met other people who were also scared, also learning, also growing. They made mistakes together. They laughed together. They encouraged each other. Slowly, Marcus started to find his voice. Not perfect English, but his real voice. 3 months later, there was a big meeting at work. The team was discussing a complex technical problem. Marcus had an idea that could save the company time and money. His old voice said, "Stay quiet. Let someone else speak." But his new voice, the voice that believed in him, said, "Sophia is watching. Show her what believing in yourself looks like." Marcus raised his hand. His heart was beating fast, but he spoke anyway. He shared his idea. His English wasn't perfect, but his idea was clear. The room was quiet for a moment. Then his boss said, "Marcus, that's brilliant. Can you lead this project?" 6 months later, Marcus got the promotion he had wanted for years. But more than that, he got something else. He got himself back. He remembered who he was underneath all that fear. And Sophia? She learned to ride her bicycle. And she learned something else too. She learned that being scared doesn't mean you're not brave. It just means you're growing.
Here are 3 simple things you can do every single day to build real belief in yourself. Daily practice 1. The 2-minute morning declaration. When you wake up, before you check your phone, before you start worrying about your day, take 2 minutes to speak to yourself with kindness. Say something like this: "Good morning. I'm glad you're here. Today, you're going to learn something new. You're going to try your best, and that's enough." Say it out loud. Say it with me now. I'm going to try my best, and that's enough. This isn't about being perfect. This is about starting your day as your own friend, not your own critic. Daily practice 2. The evening growth question. Before you go to sleep, ask yourself this question: what did I do today that required me to trust myself? Maybe you spoke up in a conversation. Maybe you tried a new word. Maybe you asked for help. Maybe you made a decision without asking everyone else's opinion first. Find something. Write it down if you can. Celebrate it. This trains your brain to notice your own courage instead of only seeing your mistakes. Daily practice 3. The weekly challenge. Every week, choose one thing that scares you a little bit and do it. Not something dangerous, something that requires you to grow. Maybe this week you'll introduce yourself to someone new. Maybe you'll speak English in a situation where you usually stay quiet. Maybe you'll share an idea you've been keeping to yourself. The goal isn't to succeed perfectly. The goal is to practice trusting yourself in new situations. Remember, you don't have to feel ready to be ready. You don't have to feel confident to act with confidence. You just have to trust that you can handle whatever happens next. And here's the truth that I want you to remember. Every person who has ever done anything meaningful started exactly where you are now. Scared, unsure, but willing to try. The difference between people who believe in themselves and people who don't isn't that one group never feels fear. It's that they feel the fear and choose to trust themselves anyway. You can do this. You can learn to believe in yourself. Not because it's easy, but because you're stronger than you think. So as we wrap up, there's one final message I want you to hear. My friend, I want you to know something. The fact that you're here, listening to this, learning English, working on yourself, that already shows incredible strength. That already shows you believe in yourself more than you realize. You chose to invest time in your growth. You chose to step outside your comfort zone. You chose to believe that you can become better than you are today. That's not small. That's huge. But I know the journey isn't always easy. There will be days when you feel discouraged, days when your progress feels slow, days when that old voice comes back and tells you to give up. On those days, I want you to remember this. Believing in yourself isn't a feeling you wait for. It's a choice you make over and over again. It's choosing to speak even when your voice shakes. It's choosing to try even when you might fail. It's choosing to see your mistakes as learning, not as proof that you're not good enough. Every time you make this choice, you become stronger. Every time you trust yourself, you grow. Every time you act with courage, you prove to yourself that you are capable of more than you knew. Your dreams matter. Your voice matters. Your growth matters. And you have everything you need inside you right now to start building the life you want. So here's what I want you to do. Right now, before you finish listening, I want you to say this out loud. Say it with me. I believe in myself. I am learning. I am growing. I am becoming the person I want to be. Say it again. I believe in myself. Good. Now choose one small thing you're going to do today to trust yourself. Maybe it's having a conversation in English. Maybe it's sharing an idea. Maybe it's just looking in the mirror and saying something kind to yourself. Whatever it is, do it. Not because you feel ready, but because you're choosing to believe in yourself. If this episode helped you, please subscribe to the podcast. Share it with someone who needs to hear this message. Leave a comment and tell me about your journey. I love hearing from you. And if you want to practice, listen to this episode again. Repeat the phrases out loud. Let these ideas sink deep into your heart. Remember, every expert was once a beginner. Every confident person was once scared. Every success story started with someone who decided to believe in themselves. That someone can be you. That story can be yours. Keep learning, keep trying, and keep speaking. You've got this. Thank you so much, and goodbye.